Hello and welcome to Soft Step English. I am Nora.
And I am Ethan. Let me start with a very uncomfortable little question. Have you ever had a day that looked completely normal, but inside your head you were thinking, what am I doing with my life?
Yes, nothing is on fire, nobody is shouting, you still go to work or school. You answer messages, you eat dinner, but something feels off. Not fully wrong, but not right either.
That strange empty middle. I know it. It is like your life is working, but you are not fully inside it.
Exactly. Today we are talking about what to do when you feel lost in life. This episode is around B1 to B2 level, so we will go slowly, explain key words, and bring the most useful expressions back in our word tour later.
And if some parts feel a little richer, that is okay. Stay with us. Listen for the big idea, and come back later if you want a second listen. And if you'd like to keep learning with us, you can follow the channel and save this episode for someone who might need it.
And if you want to join us, leave a comment. When do you feel most lost? In the morning? On Sunday evening? After a big change? Or even during a normal week? We really do read the comments, and your examples help other learners too.
Today, we are going to move step by step. First, what feeling lost really means. Then how to understand you're kind of lost. Then how to reduce noise, notice your energy, try small experiments, build structure, ask wise people for help, and stop waiting for one magical answer.
Good. Let us begin with something important. Feeling lost does not always mean your life is broken. Sometimes it means an old way of living no longer fits you, and the new way is not clear yet.
That line hurts, but in a useful way.
Yes. To fit means to be right for you, to match you well. So if an old way no longer fits, it means the life pattern that worked before does not feel right anymore.
Maybe you finished school. Maybe your relationship ended. Maybe you moved to a new city. Or maybe nothing dramatic happened. You just woke up one day and thought, why do I feel far away from myself?
That phrase, far away from myself, matters. Some people look stable from the outside. They have a job, friends, a routine. But inside, they feel disconnected. Disconnected means not closely joined, not in real contact.
In simple words, your life is there, but your heart is not really there.
Yes, and when that happens, many people feel ashamed. They think other people know exactly where they are going.
Which is funny, because half of adulthood is people looking serious while quietly guessing.
Very true. So here is the first shift. Do not treat confusion as proof that you are failing. Treat it as information. Information means something that gives you knowledge, something you can learn from.
I like that. Confusion is not always a final answer. Sometimes it is a message.
Exactly. And because it is a message, you do not need to solve your whole future tonight. The goal is not one perfect life decision. The goal is to rebuild direction step by step.
This is a relief already, because when people feel lost, they often ask giant questions like, what is my true purpose?
Yes, and giant questions can freeze the mind. Freeze here means stop movement. A better question is, what is making me feel disconnected right now? What still gives me energy? What small step can teach me more about myself?
Smaller questions, more honest, less movie speech.
Exactly. Now here's a very practical idea. Before you fix anything, ask what kind of lost you are feeling.
Because lost is one word, but many problems can hide inside it.
Yes, one person is exhausted and needs rest, not a new dream. Another person is living by other people's expectations and has lost contact with their own values. Values are the things that matter deeply to you, the principles you want to live by. Another person is simply in a period of change and has not adjusted yet.
So, if you choose the wrong explanation, you may choose the wrong solution.
Exactly. Let's look at two examples. First, Lena. She is a young office worker. She says, I feel lost. Maybe I should quit my job immediately.
Very dramatic, very human.
Yes, but then she looks more closely. She is sleeping badly, answering messages late at night, and never taking real breaks. Her problem is not only a life crisis, it is partly burnout.
Burnout is a very useful word. It means deep exhaustion from too much pressure over time, not just being tired after one long day.
Right. If Lena ignores her exhaustion, every possible choice will look dark. So before she makes a huge decision, she needs to understand that her body and mind are worn down.
Then there's Daniel.
Yes, Daniel has a safe job and enough money, but every Sunday evening he feels empty. When he reflects honestly, he realizes he chose his career mainly to please his family. So his main problem is not tiredness, it is distance from his own values.
That difference is huge. Lena may need recovery. Daniel may need honesty.
Exactly. So ask specific questions. Are you physically tired? Emotionally numb? Bored? Lonely? Afraid of making the wrong choice? Angry that your life does not match the image you once had?
Naming the problem does not solve it, but it turns a big cloud into something you can study.
Beautifully said. A cloud is hard to hold. A named problem is easier to work with.
Then there is another big reason people feel lost: noise.
Yes, reduce the noise around you. Noise here does not only mean sound. It means all the outside voices that make it hard to hear your own thoughts.
Social media, family pressure, success stories online, constant comparison. That person from school who suddenly looks like a perfect adult with perfect coffee and perfect lighting.
Yes, when you keep seeing promotions, marriages, business plans, travel photos, and beautiful routines, you may think everyone is moving in a clear, straight line.
But that is not reality. It is a selected picture.
Exactly. And comparison becomes especially dangerous when you already feel uncertain. You stop asking, what is right for me? And you start asking, how do I catch up?
Catch up with what? Usually with an invisible schedule.
Good phrase. An invisible schedule is a timeline you feel pressure to follow even though nobody truly gave it to you. By 25, do this. By 30, do that. By 35, have everything together.
And if your friend becomes a doctor at 28, and another friend starts a company, and someone else moves abroad, suddenly your own path feels late.
Even if your path is simply different. A lot of adult suffering comes from trying to live on a timeline that does not belong to you.
That line should be on a wall somewhere, or maybe on my phone before I open social media.
Maybe both. So reducing noise does not mean disappearing from the world. It means creating enough quiet to notice your own mind. Some people take a break from social media for 2 weeks. Some stop asking 5 different friends for life advice and choose one wise person. Some write for 10 minutes at the end of the day.
The method can change, but the result is the same. You need enough room to hear yourself.
Yes. Then comes another correction, and I think this one helps many people. Do not put all your pressure on finding one grand passion.
Ah, yes, the very modern fear. If I do not discover the one special thing I was meant to do, I have failed the whole human experience.
Exactly, but direction often grows from smaller clues. So instead of asking about destiny, notice energy.
Energy is easier to observe. Where do you feel more awake, more interested, more useful?
Yes, maybe you enjoy explaining things to new coworkers. Maybe you like organizing messy information into a clear plan. Maybe you lose track of time when you cook, repair things, write, teach children, study health, or help a friend solve a practical problem.
None of those moments gives you a full life map.
No, but together they show a pattern. Here's a student example. A university student feels she has no direction because no major excites her strongly. But when she looks at her week, she notices she feels most alive when she helps classmates prepare presentations and calm their anxiety.
So maybe communication, support, and teaching matter more to her than she realized.
Exactly. Then another example. A man working in sales says he hates his career. But when he looks carefully, he sees he does not hate all of it. He hates the pressure to chase numbers. But he enjoys building trust with customers and understanding what they need.
That is such an important difference. Not total escape. Maybe a better role.
Yes, broad questions freeze you. Smaller observations move you forward. Instead of asking, what should I do for the rest of my life? Ask, what kind of work, people, and environment make me feel more like myself?
Or, what kind of problems do I care enough about to spend energy on?
Exactly. Now, the next idea is very practical. Shorten your time horizon.
In simple words, Stop trying to solve the next 20 years before lunch.
Yes. A time horizon means how far ahead you are looking. When you are tired and confused, looking too far ahead creates too much pressure. You do not need a perfect answer for your whole future. You need a workable direction for the next season.
Workable means possible, realistic, something you can actually use.
Exactly. Life can be like a path that appears while you walk, not a map printed fully before you begin.
I love that. Not because it is romantic, but because it is true.
So, if you cannot see 5 years ahead, try 3 months. Ask what would make the next 3 months more honest, more stable, or more meaningful than the last three?
Maybe better sleep, maybe saving money, maybe one class, maybe 3 conversations with people in a field that interests you, maybe volunteering once a week.
Small direction is still direction.
And a 3-month experiment feels much less terrifying than a permanent life decision.
Exactly. Here are 2 examples. A woman trapped in corporate work may not be ready to quit and become a full-time artist, but she may be ready to spend 12 weeks taking an evening design course and building a small portfolio.
That is real, not fantasy, not running away, just information.
Yes, and a recent graduate may not know a lifelong career, but he may know that for the next 2 months he wants to explore nonprofit work, improve his language skills, and speak to people outside his usual circle.
Which brings us to one of my favorite parts here. Run small experiments.
Yes, many people stay stuck because they wait for certainty before they act, but certainty often comes after contact with reality.
Contact with reality. I love that phrase because it is a little rude.
In a helpful way, yes. It means real experience, not just imagination. A small experiment is any low-risk action that gives you real information.
If you think you want to work with children, volunteer for a few weekends. If you think you want to start a business, try selling one service to one customer before building a whole identity around being an entrepreneur.
Yes. If you think you need a new field, talk to people already doing that work. Shadow them if possible, take a beginner course, or do one short project.
Shadow means spend time with someone while they do their job, so you can observe what the work is really like.
Good. Experiments calm the dramatic mind. Without evidence, the mind often says, "This new path will save me completely," or "This will be a total disaster."
Real life is usually less dramatic and more useful.
Exactly. Maybe you discover you do enjoy teaching, but not in a formal classroom. Maybe freelance work gives freedom, but also stress that you do not want right now. Even disappointment can help if it is honest.
Because honest disappointment is still information.
Yes. Now here is something simple but powerful. Structure supports clarity.
Which is not the glamorous answer people want.
No, but it matters. When life feels confusing, many people wait for motivation before building routines. But often routine must come first. Regular sleep, movement, decent meals, and some order in your week give your mind enough stability to think clearly.
Stability means steadiness, not chaos.
Yes, you do not need a perfect self-improvement schedule. You need a floor under your feet. Wake up at a reasonable time. Leave the house. Move your body. Finish one task you promised yourself you would do. Limit activities that leave you numb for hours.
There is a very painful example here. Someone scrolls on the phone until 2 in the morning, wakes up tired, moves through work without focus, and then feels terrible again at night.
Right. That person may think they need a deep philosophical answer. But first, they may need a healthier week.
Which is annoying, because the simple answer is often the real answer.
Very often, yes. Then there is another important reminder: do not do all of this alone. Feeling lost is an inner experience, but other people can help you see what you cannot see.
The important part is choosing carefully who those people are.
Exactly. Not every opinion is useful. Some people project their fears onto you. To project means to place their own feelings onto your situation. Some push you toward the safest path because your uncertainty makes them uncomfortable. Others give beautiful but vague advice that changes nothing.
Helpful people usually listen well, ask direct questions, and can separate your life from their own.
Yes, sometimes a friend can remind you of parts of yourself that you forgot. They may say, "You are always at your best when you are building something." Or you sound most alive when you talk about education. Or you have looked drained ever since you started that job.
I like that idea. Identity is not found only by looking inward. Sometimes it is reflected back to you.
Beautiful. And professional help can matter too. If feeling lost comes with deep sadness, anxiety, hopelessness, or daily life becoming unmanageable, this may be more than a question of direction.
In that case, therapy or counseling can help you separate mental health pain from life planning, confusion.
Yes, and that distinction matters. You do not need to solve your future while drowning emotionally.
Then comes a very kind truth. Feeling lost is sometimes part of growth.
Yes, we often imagine mature adults as people who know exactly who they are forever. Real life is not that clean. A role that fit you at 22 may not fit you at 35. A dream that once gave you energy may become too small, too expensive, or simply no longer true.
You are allowed to change. I think many people need to hear that in simple language.
Yes, and uncertainty is not always weakness. Sometimes uncertainty appears because you are becoming more honest. The old answers are no longer working, and the new answers are still forming.
It is not a glamorous stage. You cannot make a neat announcement about it.
No, but it may be one of the most important stages in adult life. Now, before we close, here are several common mistakes to watch for.
Mistake number 1. Waiting for clarity to arrive before taking any action.
Yes. Mistake number 2. Making sudden extreme decisions just to escape discomfort. Someone feels empty for 6 months and suddenly wants to move to another country, end a stable relationship, or quit a job without any financial plan.
Sometimes bold moves are necessary, but dramatic action is not always courage. Sometimes it is avoidance wearing exciting clothes.
Very well said. Another mistake is staying in research mode forever. You read books, watch videos, listen to podcasts, ask everyone for advice, and still do not test anything in real life.
Research mode can feel productive because it gives emotional relief. You feel busy. You feel thoughtful. But your real life stays the same.
Exactly. Another trap is searching for a path with no discomfort. People think if something is truly right for them, it will feel natural all the time.
Not true. Meaningful paths can still be hard, boring in parts, financially uncertain, and emotionally demanding.
So the better question is not, which path has no discomfort? The better question is, which discomfort can I respect because it belongs to something I value?
That is a strong line.
And one more trap, turning self-discovery into self-judgment. Looking back and saying, I wasted years. I chose the wrong major. I stayed too long. I followed someone else's plan.
Regret is understandable, but the past is not only a list of mistakes, it is also data.
Yes, data means useful information. What tired you, hurt you, bored you, and shaped you can become material for wiser decisions now.
Then we get a quieter, more hopeful picture. People begin to recover direction when they stop waiting for rescue.
Exactly. Their whole life is not solved, but they begin to trust a process. They observe themselves honestly, reduce noise, test small changes, build structure, and let experience teach them.
The path is still incomplete, but it becomes walkable.
Walkable means possible to move through one step at a time.
And finally, here's a very practical reset for the next 30 days.
Yes, think of the next month as a reset period, not a final judgment on your life. In that month, do not force yourself to discover your forever career or define your whole identity. Focus on honest information and renewed movement.
Step 1. Write down 3 things that feel wrong in your current life and 3 things that still give you energy.
Be precise. Not, my job is bad. But I feel drained after constant customer conflict. Not, nothing interests me. But I enjoy helping my younger brothers study English.
Precision creates options.
Exactly. Then improve one area of basic stability. Sleep earlier. Walk every morning. Eat proper meals. Clean your room. Finish delayed tasks.
Again, not glamorous. Very useful.
Then plan 2 or 3 small experiments. Talk to someone whose work interests you. Join a class. Volunteer. Try one side project. Spend one weekend doing something that matches your curiosity instead of your usual habit.
And while you do that, notice your emotional signals without obeying them blindly.
Yes, fear does not always mean stop. Excitement does not always mean yes. Notice what still feels meaningful after the first mood passes.
Some things look amazing in fantasy and much less amazing in real life.
Exactly. And direction is usually built in layers. First, enough stability to breathe. Then notice what feels alive. Then test. Then adjust. Then commit more deeply.
Very few people receive a complete answer all at once.
Most people build a life through a series of more honest choices. So if you feel lost right now, do not treat that feeling as proof that you are broken. Treat it as a signal that something needs attention, honesty, or change.
Slow down long enough to understand you're kind of lost. Reduce the voices that make you compare. Notice where your energy naturally goes. Stop demanding a full map. Focus on the next part of the road.
Test small possibilities in real life. Build enough structure to support clear thought. Ask wise people to reflect what they see. And remember, confusion is not always the opposite of growth. Sometimes it is the beginning of a more truthful life.
And now, as promised, it is time for our word tour.
Yes, take a breath. This is the slower teaching part. We will revisit useful expressions from today's episode. Say them with us. Do not worry about perfection. Just speak.
First one, feel lost. Say it with us. Feel lost.
Feel lost means you do not know your direction. You are moving through life, but you are not sure where you are going or why. Example, I had a stable job, but inside I still felt lost.
One more time, slowly. Feel lost.
Next, a quiet question. Say it with us. A quiet question.
This means a question that stays inside you, even when you do not say it aloud. Example, during my normal routine, I carried a quiet question about my future.
Good. Now, old way no longer fits. Repeat after us. Old way no longer fits.
To fit means to match. So this expression means your old life pattern does not match who you are now. Example, my old career plan no longer fits the person I am becoming.
Very nice. Next, disconnected. Say it with us. Disconnected.
Disconnected means not truly connected, not in contact. Example, I was busy all week, but I felt disconnected from myself.
Now, burnout. Slowly, burnout.
Burnout is deep exhaustion from long pressure, not one tired evening, a longer collapse of energy. Example, she thought she needed a new life, but first she needed recovery from burnout.
Good. Next expression, reduce the noise. Say it with us. Reduce the noise.
This means lower the outside voices and distractions so you can hear your own thoughts. Example, I took a break from social media to reduce the noise.
Very useful. Now, invisible schedule. Repeat after us. Invisible schedule.
This is a timeline you feel pressured to follow, even though it may not be right for you. Example, I stopped comparing myself to an invisible schedule.
Excellent. Next one, time horizon. Say it with us. Time horizon.
A time horizon is how far ahead you are looking. Example, my time horizon was too long, so I changed it from 5 years to 3 months.
Good. And with that, another phrase. Workable direction. Say it with us. Workable direction.
That means a direction that is realistic and possible right now. Example, I do not need my whole future. I just need a workable direction for this season.
Beautiful. Next, small experiment. Repeat after us. Small experiment.
A small experiment is a low-risk action that gives real information. Example, before changing careers, I ran a small experiment and took one weekend course.
And this one matters a lot. Contact with reality. Say it with us. Contact with reality.
That means real experience, not only ideas in your head. Example, I stopped imagining and got contact with reality by volunteering in the field.
One more. Walkable. Say it with us. Walkable.
Walkable means possible to move through step by step. Example, my future was still unclear, but it finally felt walkable.
Very good. If you want, go back later and repeat those expressions again. Slow practice helps them stay in your memory.
Before we go, here is your small homework. Take 10 minutes today and write 2 lists. 3 things that feel wrong in your life right now, and 3 things that still give you energy, even a little.
Then choose only one action for this week, not 10 actions. 1. Maybe sleep earlier. Maybe ask one wise person for a conversation. Maybe try one small experiment.
And if you want, tell us in the comments which expression from today's word tour you want to use in your real life. Maybe feel lost, reduce the noise, small experiment, workable direction. Write one full sentence if you can.
If this episode helped, you can stay with Soft Step English and send it to one person who might want a calmer and more honest way to think about the future.
Thank you for spending this time with us.
I am Nora.
And I am Ethan.
Take care of your English, take care of your mind, and remember, you do not need the whole map tonight. You only need the next honest step. And there is more English waiting for you when you are ready.